So why surrogacy isn't necessarily an immediate option for 𝘿 and charisma? I'm going to talk about that today. Welcome, that's just Tara family. This is Melissa, Tara's mom, and you're going to be able to find this video in my playlist, IVF, infertility, and more. I think I'm going to change the playlist to IVF, infertility, and surrogacy since I have been making so many surrogacy related videos. Let's see what happens. You're going to be able to find that playlist at the end of this video as an end to call action on those little rectangles that you find on the bottom of the video. You're also going to be able, take a breath. You're going to be able to find it in the description through a link below the video. So a little background on why we're touching this subject today. So I have been following 𝘿 and charisma for years now. Maybe somewhere since 2019, 2020. I am not very sure. So I've been watching some of their videos. Wish I had time to watch all of them, but I have been following up a little bit on what they have been going through, and shout out to them. I love you guys. I also love Squirmy and Grubs. I've also been keeping up with them, so shout out to you guys. Okay, so I'm gonna be very honest with you guys. I love this sweet couple so much, you know, that any little thing that I could see as a threat, it just like, it makes me feel like a little bit triggered, because I have seen how they grow, you know, and just literally to me they are a symbol of true love, you know. So, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people that are watching, you know, their videos think the same way too, you know. Anything regarding patience and resilience, all those things that we as human beings resonate with, and this is one of the reasons why we admire them so much. So I finally got to watch their last video on their IVF update, on whether IVF worked or not. And the reason why it took me like a couple of days to watch it was because me and Tara were in Boston and we were so busy, and I was like filming videos and all that, and but it just kept popping up on my timeline. Watch this video, hey, don't forget to watch it. It was on my recommended the whole entire time. So last night I said, okay, let's do it. I got the time and space now, I'm gonna click on it. And well, I felt, you know, naturally saddened, you know, when they said that they were going to take a break, but that's something natural, you know. At the same time, I figured that that's something that, you know, a lot of the couples that have gone through this situation in multiple attempts, it's a regular feeling. It's a normal feeling to have after going through so much. And so I was going through the comments, and that's the reason why I decided to make this video and a video about them for the first time. So I noticed that in some of the comments, some of the people were suggesting them to get a surrogate. And I was starting to type a long paragraph in one of those comments and explain to them why surrogacy isn't necessarily an immediate option. So as I was typing and typing, there went an ad, and I don't know why, when I hit the skip button, it threw me out of the whole entire thing, and the whole message disappeared. And I was like, oh my god, dude. So I said, you know, I forget about it. But then I woke up this morning and I'm like, I felt the call to like make a video about it and explain to everyone why this isn't necessarily an immediate option. Okay, so from my knowledge, I may be wrong, and I want to give a disclaimer. This video is for entertainment purposes only. You know, I am only going to give an unprofessional opinion, and that's about it. Okay, so from my knowledge, from my understanding, from the moment that they started the journey, And after, them exploring all the options and going through them, it they came to the conclusion, well, that Cole's sperm and count could really possibly be the main reason why the embryos, even if they got a sperm to fertilize the egg, and even if it implanted, the sperm quality wasn't that good enough for that embryo to survive. Why? Because as soon as the body recognizes that the embryo is not genetically normal, then the body automatically rejects it. After a while, it realizes, well, this is not going to be a viable pregnancy. This is, this baby is going to, if it's incredible the way the body works, this baby is not going to have a quality of life that that will allow it to live, and to live in a way that, not like, I don't want to say normally, but just like having a quality of life to be able to live. So since the body knows that, it rejects it. And I'm sorry, I can't use those medical complicated terms because I am not an expert. I'm just here to give an opinion and to explain to some people why surrogacy is not an immediate option. Okay, so we have seen how Charisma has been tested for several things. Everything is okay. What they did was give her injections. So after attempting first the pills, she got injections so she can release even more eggs, so that the chances of his sperm fertilizing one of those eggs could be greater. Her lining was good, her uterus was working on normal. Removing polyps is absolutely normal. Sometimes people get pregnant with the polyps, and even surrogates have had polyps, and all they have to do is remove them. That's it. That is not a showstopper at all. So everything with her, it's okay. So we're really talking about Cole's sperm quality and count. And the reason why last night Cole was saying in the video that if there's anybody out there willing to put 50,000 in our stocking, would be greatly appreciated, something along those lines. It's because every time that you go through the whole process of creating embryos, it just takes a lot of financial efforts, and not only emotional, but a lot of financial efforts. And they came to the conclusion that those embryos really needed to be tested. That's another thing that I wanted to talk about, getting the embryos tested. In my opinion, getting the embryos tested is extremely important. And I used to believe that, because it has happened before, that you could do an embryo transfer that has low quality, and it still results in a normal baby. It still results in a live birth sometimes. And sometimes we want to fill ourselves up with that, with that hope. But the reality here is that, yeah, it can result in a pregnancy, but if it wasn't very good quality, the pregnancy sometimes can be viable until like the 11th or 12th week, and then then there comes the heartbreak. So this is why, with all the education and all the research that people have done lately, a lot of people would rather now only transfer tested embryos, making sure that they're high quality. And just because they're high quality, it doesn't mean that it is guaranteed that the transfer will be a success or that the pregnancy will be a success, because we do not have the full technology yet to detect everything on genetics. Even so, once that person is pregnant, I think around 17 or 18 weeks, sometimes I don't know if it's every time, but I have seen OBs testing women for to make sure that the baby doesn't have spine problems through a lab test. And when you ask them, hey, these embryos or this embryo was high quality, they'll tell you, well, that's because that test doesn't necessarily test for the spine problem. Only this test does it. So, even if you get a high quality embryo, you have to keep testing. You still have to do an anatomy scan halfway through and all that stuff. Okay. So everything with Charisma in her uterus is well and treatable and manageable. What's really interesting is that we don't have that technology yet to make sure that a man produces more sperm and more good quality sperm. Now, so for them to be able to increase those chances more, they would actually need more money to do more rounds and more rounds. And yeah, so that is the thing. And not everyone, you could be a famous YouTuber, you could be a person that makes a lot of money, and still sometimes, once that process becomes repetitive, it's still hard to afford. I made a video on surrogacy costs. It doesn't have to do a lot with this, but it's just a little bit related. So if there's anybody interested in watching it, go ahead. It's gonna be I'm gonna put the link in my description, or you're gonna be able to find it in the playlist too. So like I said, everything on her, according to what I have learned, is okay. So her uterus is all right to carry a baby, so they don't need to be resorting to a surrogate. They need to work on his side. And I would just say my opinion. If they ask for my opinion, I would just say what a lot of people would say. There is and I know that when they say things like other people tell them, to relax and be stress-free and everything's going to be okay, that's very hard to find. But there's sometimes a little tips and tricks that we can follow, so that with a lot of hope and faith combined, you just never know. So if they ask me, I didn't even make a script for this video, so I'm sorry if everything is like out of order. Maca root supplements are very good for sperm's health. Zinc is very good for sperm's health. So zinc supplements, or taking too much zinc could be bad too, but you just have to consult a doctor first. Foods that are really rich in zinc are very good as well. And to increase the chances, if they ask, this is just like a wives' tale sort of thing, and you guys know it. After doing the baby dance, keep those hips up, Charisma, for like 30 minutes, sometimes like 45 minutes, you know, or an hour. Don't get dizzy, you know. Watch a funny video. Watch a funny movie. One of the things that, and this is like a personal recommendation, one of the things that make me laugh a lot is watching Impractical Jokers. I love it. So you do that, and you watch Impractical Jokers, and I'm not saying don't stress about it, because I know it's hard not to, but watch a lot of comedy while you have those hips up. And throughout the day, keep socks on, even if you're at the house. And you know, sometimes it can be uncomfortable wearing socks, you know, but keep them on. Put some pillows up throughout the day. Let that circulation flow to your uterus, you know, from your feet. And that's it, you know. And just as you work on your next time to be able to pay for the next round. And who knows? Who knows? Never say never, okay? But while you wait for that other moment that's meant to be, I would say that would be a cool thing to do, you know? Okay, I have to leave you guys for now. Everyone, thank you for watching. I really appreciate that you took the time to watch this. And if you found this video valuable, maybe you found it in some way or in your own way informational or educational or encouraging, please hit that like button. I would certainly love it. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check our community tab for behind the scenes pictures, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Things are possible. They don't come overnight though necessarily, but they are possible. Do not forget